Moving along, we got to the scene where the killer hits a baby carriage being pushed by a young mother. Mike Strauber, the killer, then hallucinates that the woman is his mother, so he backs up and runs her over with his car. This scene was problematic for the producers. Suddenly, no one wanted me to film it the way it was written. Originally, it was a very deliberate murder. Again, my statement on no one being safe from death in this life, whether it be a tornado or a rampaging killer. There's no exceptions in terms of who is chosen or who can be killed. In my opinion, by definition, the best horror movies are rebel films, which means if they're not being criticized, banned, disdained, or questioned, then they're probably not doing their job. There has to be moments in the best of these kind of films that are outrageously memorable, like a kick in the teeth. I also wanted to play this scene up for a sequel, with the father of the baby appearing in a follow-up wanting revenge on what was done to his family by the killer. I was eventually able to accomplish this a decade later, but at the time the producers wouldn't hear any of that, so I was forced to choreograph the scene more as an accident for the initial hit, and then the rundown of the fallen mother being very deliberate. It was during this sequence that an irrevocable rift between the producers and I developed. From this point on, there were constant creative differences, with the producers wanting things one way and me trying to do them the way that I had originally envisioned them. It was a classic case of too many chefs being in the kitchen, and it eventually affected the way the entire movie came out, of course. We slugged through the sequence and got all the shots. We had to work hard to get the dummy of the actress positioned right, and I wanted it to raise its arm in a reflex defense when the car backs up over her. So Bob Shelley designed a filament line gauge that would raise the arm up just before the moment of impact. This was a fun scene to shoot despite the creative problems I was suddenly enduring. It was strange, mid-shoot, to have the producers suddenly wanting to film a different movie than I was trying to make after we had talked about it so long, storyboarded everything, and planned everything out in such detail from A to Z. A very long morning gives way to afternoon as we press on for insert shots. Special effects makeup man Bill Koffler takes away the abused dummy. Finally, close-up insert shots of the car peeling away, close-up on the tire, drenched in blood. Another day, another death. This time, a little leaguer that our killer sees as himself at a young age. The ball field sign was changed as an in-joke to the Jeffrey Miller Memorial Park just to get our executive producer's name in the scene, kind of like our Capricorn Network bus sign in-joke. However, it was no joke when he got cancer just a few years later and unexpectedly passed away. I will always be grateful to Jeff for initially believing in my writing and the original script, and he was actually one of the producers that was on my side throughout all the problems. He had his hands tied by some of the very producers he had hired to help get the movie made. Returning to the set. This time it's a drive-by chainsawing, and as originally storyboarded, the victim's head was supposed to be cut off as the killer passed him by with a chainsaw hanging out of the window, and his body would continue to walk minus the head for a few feet before finally falling over. Of course, the original effects artists weren't quite ready for the gag, and we ended up having the kid's face sliced by the chainsaw as Strawber went by, leaving him a gory mess. It worked out okay with creative angles, and the moment of impact got the point across, but again, it was now a much different scene than I originally intended. I also can't give enough credit to Bob Shelley, who unexpectedly had to come through with special makeup effects at all times when the original team failed. He saved the entire show. Incidentally, most of the movie was filmed at the Palm Beach County Junior College, where we got permission to use the place almost as a movie set, renting empty space for interiors, shooting in their offices, using their ball field for the chainsaw scene, and woodsy areas surrounding the college for the shed explosion sequence. I ended up using the college extensively in both of the sequels as well, so in effect, the Palm Beach County Junior College is Sunnyvale Mental Institution. Despite all the special makeup effects problems, we wrap up this location with gore shots that would make H.G. Lewis proud, and close-ups to boot. Production continues with Anthony T. Towns, who plays a guard, who gets a pin stabbed in his eye when Mike Strawber escapes.
15 fives? See what happened was we
The leading actor did the same.
Right. We got three.
I'm not very happy about it.
Right. I knew it was on the
As soon as
25,
this
but I
is
didn't know it
over,
was
I'm
your
gonna
money
return
that
the
went in.
pin
I thought it was
With interest.
Bob and Linda.
We'll keep this shot on for about 6 or 7 seconds when we film.
Watch your back, please.
Well, you don't need it that long. But when you look at it too long, you can analyze it.
Yes.
Okay.
Can somebody tell me what's going on?
What we're going to do is, John,
Yes.
we're going to do the pin in the eye bit first.
Oh, so I should be in Mad Mike.
We haven't.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to be Mad Mike.
Mad Mike.
Cut right now.
You want a closer look at this?
Pin in the eye.
Eyelash.
44C is sitting there, picture is ready to go, pad is right up.
Oh, just to make sure you get have like a hair thing. If you get stabbed though, some of it might curl.
That's great. Yeah, perfect.
Uh-oh.